But they looked at Mark's video and they used that to verify my innocence. So I send my YouTube rep a lengthy email detailing my feelings about the entire situation, feeling like there was some favoritism at play. There was either that or some racism at play, and that I would like to sit down with the policy team and figure out why my video was flagged in the first place. Actually, number one, was it automated or was it a human that age restricted it in the first place? Number two, who was the human reviewer? Because it's a human reviewer once you submit an appeal. Who was the human reviewer that doubled down and rejected my appeal? Number three, why did it take Markiplier's clip in order for them to reverse the decision? My YouTube rep gets back with me. He wants to hop on a call. We get on the phone for about 10-15 minutes, and I tell him, I've been feeling like this for a long time. I've been feeling like every single time that I come back to YouTube, I'm number one trending for a few days, and then they find some arbitrary issue. They nitpick and they try and find something that they can incriminate me for and try to push me down. You don't believe me? What happened the last time I came back and I was number one trending for like a week? They copyright struck me for a video that was in 2019 or something like that. Why don't these issues ever crop up when I'm not uploading? I mean, I'm not on YouTube like 9 months out of the year. Nothing ever happens until I come back and I start uploading again, and I'm getting my numbers, they're climbing, they're exploding, I'm number one trending, and then they're like, hey, we need to stop him. We need to, hey, this black man, he's getting too many views, he's getting too much exposure, too much activity.
Tinker Skin Editor makes it easy for you to customize your player's skin into pretty much anything you want. You can isolate body parts, paint on a second layer, and even use various tools to turn your player into a panda.
I have that.
So I just got back from LA, and right before I left, on my way to the airport, the main man, Corey Kenshin, dropped an absolute banger of a video.
YouTube. You guys either play favorites, you are racist, or it's a mix of the two. These are the three options, YouTube.
He levied some pretty serious accusations against YouTube, and I wanted to talk about it a little bit in this video because I kind of have a lot of thoughts around these types of subjects when it comes to YouTube in general. The stuff that Corey talked about was very specific to his use case about what was going on with his channel, and he accused YouTube of playing favorites and possibly being racist against black creators and other creators of color when they upload their content. Let's face it, I come from a place of immense privilege being a white man on the internet, so I can't speak for the racist side of things, but he brought up some pretty good points that are kind of hard not to think about in that regard, because he brought up a bunch of receipts as well, talking about his instances with the YouTube rep that he had. And just to kind of break it down for you, he uploaded The Mortuary Assistant, and his video got age restricted because of a certain section got to do with self-harm and dealing with the themes of suicide and everything. If you've watched my series on The Mortuary Assistant, you know what scene that is. And he got frustrated by it because it got age restricted, and then he started searching around other YouTubers to see if theirs was age restricted, and it wasn't.
No one else's was age restricted. So I appealed the restriction. Hey guys, I'm not sure why mine got age restricted. Could you look into this? Appeal rejected.
But I should clarify this, that I talked to Corey a little bit about this. I was texting him after his video went out to talk about it, because I really liked his video, and I'm really glad that he did it and brought up a lot of these points. But he said that he checked my video as one of the first ones he went to see if it got age restricted, and at the time it wasn't. But my video has been age restricted since the 15th of August. Corey's scenario that happened was that his video got age restricted. He looked around. Some other YouTubers didn't have age restrictions on their content either, and he went to some other channels like Markiplier's to see if theirs got restricted as well, because like a big creator who's seen very favorably in YouTube's eyes and had like a very popular video about Mortuary Assistant as well, wasn't age restricted. So he felt a bit targeted as a result of that, which, fair enough, this happens all the time, and I'll get to that in a minute as well. But he went back to his YouTube rep and was like, hey, why is mine age restricted when Mark's isn't, and it has the exact same scene in it? And then suddenly his got greenlit. It was fine, they took the age restriction off, and everything went about their business. And then he started to get pretty mad about it, which I completely understand, because why is that the scenario? Why is that the order of operations?
Now, my YouTube rep, he was excited. He was, oh, great, this is awesome. Look, Corey, they took the age restriction off. I said, why? I expected them to triple down and give Markiplier an age restriction too. But they looked at Mark's video and they used that to verify my innocence.
And then sent a pretty scathing email to his YouTube rep, which, fair play to you. I'm very proud of you, Corey, for doing that, because it takes a lot to stand up to these types of things that are happening whenever they do happen, because it's a big system, and a lot of times we're left to feel very dumb in regards to what's going on at YouTube, like we just don't understand the system. And then this happens and you're like, why? What the hell is going on? Why did it suddenly get greenlit when it only was because I mentioned it? And then they turned around and age restricted him again, and age restricted Mark's video.
And what do you know? They re-age restricted the video. They re-age restricted the video. I say, no way did they do that. I go to Markiplier's video now, and now his video is age restricted. They got caught with their pants down.
And I don't know if that's when mine got age restricted as well. I think Corey actually uploaded his after mine, so maybe not. But at the same time, it highlights a huge problem on the platform, and I want to talk a little bit about that, not just Corey's case, but my sort of experiences with it as well, because the amount of times, and I have very good evidence of this as well, because I have a girlfriend who does the exact same job as me in the other room, and a lot of times we upload the same games. And this has happened a couple of times now where we'll both upload the same game, her video will get flagged or claimed or something like that, and mine will be totally fine. And then she's wondering why mine is clear, and I'm also like, yeah, that's so weird. Why is mine suddenly fine? Like, did they just not flag me because I'm a bigger creator? And then sometimes a couple of days will go by and then I'll get flagged for it. But it's like, why did hers get flagged instantly and mine didn't? Because she got flagged for the Mortuary Assistant as well, got age restricted for the same scene, and it took days before mine did. When you think, if it's supposed to be that obvious that it's in the system and these types of scenes are happening and they get auto-flagged by this system, shouldn't it be consistent across everybody's? I don't want special treatment because I'm a bigger YouTuber. I don't want special treatment because I've been on the platform for a while, or maybe my content has been a bit more palatable to a lot of people and I don't like rock the boat. I mean, I swear a lot of my content, and that's been something in the past where I'm like, is my stuff getting restricted because of that? But for the most part, my content is totally fine. And I think because of that, then they come to me and they're like, no, we're not going to flag you because you're fine. You normally are green in the system, which is a massive problem as well, because I have the benefit of, there's been a couple of times when this has happened to me and Evelyn, where we go to our YouTube rep and say, why is this age restricted? Why did this get flagged? Why am I ad limited on my videos? And then they'll come back and be like, let me look into it. They go to the policy team, come back saying, sorry, it was a false flag. And then everything gets greenlit again. And now, this has nothing got to do with my YouTube rep. I have nothing against him. I actually really, really love my YouTube rep. He's amazing. He always has my back and really fights for me whenever I ask him to. He's as transparent as he can be with the information that he has all the time. So this is nothing against him. He's just my point of contact to get to YouTube's policy team. And I don't think even he has all the answers most of the time. So I don't want if anybody at YouTube is watching this, please don't say anything to them in regards to this, because they are phenomenal and I'm really glad that I have them. But at the same time, I keep thinking about what it's like if you don't have a YouTube rep to talk to this stuff about. Like, there's a lot of smaller creators out there that get stuff flagged for the same reasons, and then they don't have anybody to talk to, and it just stays flagged for a long time. And what happens because of that is when your stuff gets like a yellow symbol on it, you get demonetized, or you get ad limited suitability, or you get claimed, or anything like that. It just kills your search rankings, because YouTube don't want to promote something that can go out to people that's claimed or has some sort of sensitive material or something in it. So you just don't end up in people's recommendations. You don't end up in suggested videos. You don't get pushed to as many people as you would if you were greenlit in the system. So there's a lot of creators out there who are probably getting hit with stuff that shouldn't be. And one of my instances was that I can't remember the video off the top of my head right now, but I got it flagged. Then I went to my YouTube rep about it, and they put it into the system and were like, yeah, that's weird. Why did that happen? And then it came back and it was greenlit, and they were like, we don't know what happened, but what might have been the cause is that something in the auto captions had like underscores in it. And whenever YouTube want to censor swear words, it puts underscores into the auto-generated captions. So it might have thought that I was swearing where I wasn't swearing and auto-flagged the video, which is a massive issue whenever you upload a video and most of your views come within the 24-hour period that it's uploaded. And then maybe it hits the algorithm later and takes off. But a lot of my views come in that first 24-hour period or 48 hours. And if something like that happens immediately, it crushes the video. It can't really take off again as much as it probably once could. And there's just a whole mess of issues around it in regards to that. So that inconsistency with uploading and that kind of check system that's going on is really bothersome. And sometimes I'll upload a video. Today, I'm trying to get an eye tracker video done that had like some nudity in it, but we were trying really hard to like censor it as best we could so that it was like you can't actually see anything in the video. And it kept getting restricted immediately every time I uploaded it, no matter how many censors we were putting onto it. And I was like, fine, there's a lot of implied stuff in it. I get it. It's a very like risque kind of video, and I knew that before even recording the video. But we kept uploading, and I was like, you know what? At one point, I'll just try an appeal on it to see what they say. Maybe they'll tell me exactly what actually is getting flagged, because I have no idea. I don't know if it's some of the implied nudity, some of the stuff we're covering up with pictures, some of the stuff that's pixelated. There's some male like top body nudity in it, which that double standard has existed for a while, where that's totally fine, showing male nipples, but anything else then is deemed way too sensitive, which is a whole other topic for a different discussion. But I was like, okay, maybe it's that. But then all of a sudden, the appeal came back and the video was greenlit. And I don't know why. I don't know why suddenly it's fine because somebody looked at it and was like, actually, yeah, this video is fine. Why is it getting flagged? So it's this imbalance between the system flagging stuff versus like a manual reviewer flagging it. And a lot of times I don't know which is doing it. I don't know which is which. I don't know who's actually checking this stuff or what's checking this stuff, why it's getting flagged. And that, I think, is the biggest issue with all of this, is that lack of communication and transparency and willingness to know what we're getting flagged for. And that's been an issue for a really long time on the platform. Because not only can that happen, but the reverse can happen as well, where I get something flagged, then it gets greenlit by somebody at YouTube, supposedly, and then suddenly I upload the video, and then 5 days later I'm like, okay, it's clear, great. Now I'm happy because I know that that video is fine because someone manually reviewed it. And then a couple of days go by, and then it gets flagged again, and I can't appeal it. That's a really big problem for anybody doing this kind of job. And again, I come from a place of huge privilege where I have the ability to actually talk to them about it. Can you imagine if you don't have that ability? What are you going to do about your content? You're just sitting there with it in limbo, wondering if the next thing you upload is actually going to get flagged as well, and you're second guessing everything. And that sort of like second guessing of stuff has really killed my sort of creativity when it comes to content, or like, it just pulls me out of it. Whenever I'm recording something and I'm thinking, man, is this going to get flagged? Do I have to edit this out? And all of these filters going through my brain just kind of like pulls me out of the moment and pulls me out of my own content, where I just want to sit here and have fun and record stuff. And I know these systems are in place for good reasons, like to keep children safe, to keep pornographic content off the platform. Like, for the reasons that they're implemented, they're very good reasons for them being there, and I completely understand that and don't want them to go away. I just wish it was more consistent and a bit more transparent as to what's going on, because right now it feels like you get flagged for some sort of stuff and they won't tell you what it is because either they don't know or they don't want to tell you, because then it'll like poke holes in the system. And I guess this is a good jumping off point to the next point, which is that there's a big issue with users flagging videos these days as well. And I'm speaking all of this anecdotally because I don't have any like crazy proof of this. It's just kind of what I go through and what I see others go through and the stories that I hear from them, is that users can flag videos, and if you get mass reported for something, I think then YouTube pays attention to it and does something about it. And a recent example of this was that the Corridor Digital people got their channel hacked, and they got mass reported by people watching the video to be like, hey, your channel's hacked, or we want this taken down, or something like that. And then their whole channel was removed from YouTube. So it made me think, what happens if you're not hacked and people report you en masse like that as well? Do YouTube actually check it and then be like, no, that's fine, we'll keep it? Or is it automated where the system will just take your channel down anyway if you just get mass flagged for something? Because what if somebody uploads something and other people don't like it and then it gets mass reported? Like, I don't know the systems in place for users flagging videos like that. Or if somebody finds something unsavory or they didn't find it funny or something like that, can't they just abuse the system then to get something they don't like addressed? And again, I could be talking out of my ass on this one, and it could not actually be like that, and there could be way more systems in place to protect people from that. But again, I don't know. And the fact that I don't know in these scenarios, and I'm guessing, is a massive problem. We should